Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Weight Loss Through Forgiveness. And in the last, firstly, let me thank all of you for a wonderful response and all the love that you've shown. Truly humbled and grateful once again. In the previous episodes, we spoke about why lack of forgiveness is an emotional baggage and directly affects our physical weight. Then we also shared thoughts on why forgiveness is so important. And the last episode was about what exactly is forgiveness. So today again we are going to talk of an important topic, and that is why is it so difficult for us to forgive? It's always a challenge, and we always think it's about the other, and it's about us and the other, and there's this competition that goes on, and ultimately let's get to the crux of it and see why is it difficult. Because once you understand why is it difficult and where you're coming from, you will be able to do something about it. All right, so I hope this episode allows you to see where you are positioned and change that positioning so that you can allow yourself to forgive others. All right, okay, so the most important challenge in forgiveness is the word called ego. All right, so ego, ego, you can also say it's also termed as edged God out. So in the spiritual practices, we often say that if the ego or the ahankar is present, then God does not reside there. So basically, ego also refers to, ideally, it is defined as a false sense of limited self. That means we think we are limited to this body, mind and intellect. And that is so far from the truth. And because we think that we are this body, mind and intellect, it becomes an identification with a limited self. And once we are identified with something, we do everything to protect it, right? And that's what actually happens. But what is exactly ego? Ego is just a collection, It's just a collection of thoughts, experiences, belief systems that we gather over a period of time, maybe some of it which we have inherited, and then we exhibit that, and then we get a response of it, and then we gather that, and we continue to base our future actions based on past experiences. All right, but we seldom realize that the past was the past, and today neither the situation is the same and neither are we the same. All right, so the first challenge which comes is the social mindset. We think forgiving somebody makes us weak. That's what the whole concept of power lies in. Punishing somebody, the ability to harm somebody is where the power lies. So it's very seldom that it is portrayed as one who saves is the powerful. Okay, especially you can see our movies and all that. It's the power lies with the bad man, and he does so many bad things because he has the power. So we think that forgiving somebody makes us weak, and and we don't want to be seen as weak in front of others, right? But it is far from the truth. Forgiving requires a lot of courage. It's only the courageous who can forgive. It's only the courageous who can rise from their limited self to a higher plane of existence and able to see everyone in a different light and nothing but a part of their own extension or reflection. All right. So first thing is that we think forgiving somebody makes us weak, which is a misnomer. So drop that idea. Once you understand that forgiveness is not for the other person, it is to save yourself and to lighten your burden. And what the world thinks does not really matter for your validation. All right. What is important is it making you happy? Is it making you peaceful or not? And if it is not, then you ask what is getting disturbed when somebody hurts you. If you're getting disturbed, remember it's only the ego that gets disturbed. This idea that you are somebody, you are in some position, and how dare he speak to me like that. All these stories, the dramas that go inside your head is because of that. Okay, so try and observe it. If you are disturbed, watch what is getting disturbed. It is the idea of your limited self. The second being in a state of judging others. All right. So when you are in a state of ego, there is a certain sense of duality that exists in everything. You versus the others. There's a constant state of comparison, competition to be better than the other. That's how the ego survives, right? So if you are in a state where you're judging others, it becomes very difficult to forgive, because you think that they are at fault and they are the ones who should ask for forgiveness, not me, and they should be punished for what they are doing. So when you are in that frame of blame game, it lowers your energy. All right, you can actually use these words and see how your energy depletes when you blame somebody or you find fault with others. Your energy goes down. So that's another reason why it gets very difficult to forgive. The third point is social influence. We think that forgiving somebody makes them right. All right. So you're scared that okay, if I forgive, people will think, "Arey, he has only made some mistake. That is why he's forgiving that person." So this threat of validation continuously keeps us in a state of fear and insecurity, and does not allow us to do what is right. Okay, so we need to be careful about this. Do not be influenced by social conditioning. It does not matter what others think. What really matters is what is good for you and what is that you are deeply experiencing. And once you're clear about that, you will be able to forgive and move on with your life. Okay, because none of the other people who are pointing fingers at you, or you're telling you that you are weak, or you must be the one at fault, it does not affect them at all. Not forgiving affects only you, and only you are going to be the sufferer. So choice is yours, what you want to do with yourself. You want to suffer, or you want others' validation. Okay, choice is yours always. This short-term thinking and long-term suffering, we think we can punish them by not forgiving and have our revenge. But some of them may not even bother what you think about them or what you have in your mind. They may not even know that you are hurt or you're upset by what they have done. So you realize it's all in your mind. It's all your creation. They probably have no role to play in that. They're not even aware of it. So your idea of trying to punish somebody by not forgiving them is absolutely of no use to you at all. All right, they may not feel guilty. It's up to them, and it's not going to change your situation. So it's important to be selfish to start becoming selfless. Okay, so this selfishness is to make sure that your interest is taken care of. Only then can you rise to a level of frequency where you can look after the others, or be of help to others, or be of use to others. Okay, so try and just reflect on these thoughts. And so it's not possible that by punishing others we will get our revenge, or make us stronger or make us feel better. It's only the ego which gets bloated up, and it makes matters worse for you. You will keep moving away from your true self as long as you're inflating your ego by these short-term pleasures. All right. Every moment, depending on the stimuli we receive from the past, we are continuously coming to certain conclusions. Okay, these conditionings is constantly affecting us. So the courage is required to break this conformity, break these patterns. And this is a very wonderful way to start, by taking the I remember I used to say when I was small that my ego is so big that nobody can see it. All right, and what I meant by that was that my ego is that nothing can affect me. If you maintain that ego, then you see how your life would be so different. But here we think about our limited self, and every small thing irritates us. Something somebody does, we get upset and we don't forgive them. Where is your ego? It's so small, so tiny, it's so insignificant, and it's causing so much suffering. Why don't you have an ego that big that nothing can disturb you? And then challenge yourself to that game, and let's see who wins. And of course, it's not going to be easy. You're going to get triggers in your day-to-day life which is going to challenge you, which is going to upset you, which is going to upset your apple cart or balance. So then you have a process to learn from that situation and see, okay, tomorrow how do I handle the situation? Or if it happens again to me, how do I balance it out? And that's the game which is fun. That's the game where you push yourself. That's the game where you move out of your comfort zone and do the impossible which you are not comfortable doing. Then you're moving to a state of infinite ego. And when an ego has no boundary, then you will merge with the universe. Alright? So do not think small in life. Think big about yourself. Have greater visions. Okay? And that will help you to understand how we can forgive. So these are the challenges when we have for why we are unable to forgive. In the next session, we'll talk about is everybody entitled to be forgiven, and what are the levels of forgiveness. All right. So wonderful being here, connecting with you all. Thank you so much for your patient listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to connect with me. Have a wonderful day and a great week ahead. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.